Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of entitled parents. In today's episode, let EK watch you insert your tampon in the bathroom. Toddlers at the gym. My aunt took a break from caregiving for an evening. She ran away from her responsibilities. Mother. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Let EK watch you insert your tampon in the bathroom. We get a kick out of these EntitledParents stories, and my husband said this would be perfect for this subreddit. Edit. Wow, I really didn't think this story would blow up so much. Thanks for the supportive comments, guys. Warning, if you couldn't tell from the title, talk. So I was at the mall shopping when Mother Nature called, and I had to go to the ladies' room. There was a line for the women's room. In front of me, there was a woman, EM, with her son, EK, that looked about 8 to 9 years old. He was, in my opinion, getting a little old to be accompanied by mommy in the girls' room, but I just decided to mind my business because I'm not a mom and I don't have to think about those kinds of things. It's finally my turn and I go into the restroom and choose my stall. It's a really big restroom with at least 20 stalls and it's full. I start doing my thing and I hear women in the stalls next to me shouting, "Excuse me, go away, and stop. You're too old for that," along with manic giggling from EK. I'm caught with my skirt up and too late to change positions when I realize his tiny pervert hands are on the floor in the stall next to me, getting ready to move on to mine. All you women know that it's hard to back out of this position once you're committed to it, else the tampon goes to waste. I immediately warn him not to check my stall or I'll kick him in the face. Excuse me. EK decides to check anyways. I'm in a defensive position. I kick him in the face as soon as he takes a peek. Lucky for him, I was wearing flats. EK screams and starts bawling his eyes out, shouting for mommy. EM storms over to my stall, pounds on the door as hard as she can. "EM, what did you do to my baby?" Can I add she didn't wash her hands yet? I ignore her, feeling no guilt, and finish my business. I open the door, she shouts at me. "EM, why did you kick my baby in the face?" Me, why was he close enough to my stall for me to kick him in the face? EM, he's a child. It's normal for them to be curious. Me, well, I warned him and I frankly feel very uncomfortable changing my tampon in front of an underage boy. I'm frankly embarrassed but felt she needed to know the compromising position I was in. The women in the bathroom hear and begin giggling and snorting at the absurdity of the situation. EM blushes and looks disgusted at my frank remark. A woman near me agreed that he was too old to be checking under women's bathroom stalls and that EM should be watching her son more closely if she has to bring him into the women's restroom with her. "EM, you assaulted a small child. I'm calling security on you." Me, I'll tell them exactly what happened and how he violated all the women in the stalls next to me. EM leaves, but I guess she felt outnumbered because she didn't call security. Instead, she stormed out of the mall, dragging EK by the wrist whilst muttering under her breath. Too old? There is no acceptable age for anyone to be doing that. If you're allowing your child to crawl on a public bathroom floor, you have some serious issues. I'm a man, and I've seen some moms take their sons into a men's restroom to urinate. Bet she wouldn't let him try that in a men's restroom. Toddlers at the gym. I'm currently visiting my boyfriend as we do long distance, so I've been using the gym at his complex. It's a small gym with just the necessary for a decent and pleasant workout. However, it haven't been too pleasant since there's two guys. I mean two dads separately, not a couple, who bring their toddlers, between 3 and 5 years old, to the gym. The kids are running and crying and playing around during the whole time while the parents work out. They are touching everything, playing, or trying to play with the equipment at the gym, leaving their toys around, liking stuff, crying and screaming, and basically being kids. While I understand it's fair parents still want to take care of themselves, I think gyms are not a safe place for a toddler, and of course is not pleasant to work out surrounded by crying kinds running around. Besides, there's a lot of at-home exercise equipment and routines people can do, which is what I'll start doing since tomorrow, since I don't want to end up stepping on a kid or being involved in an accident with one because of their negligent parents. I would like to look for second opinions since I'm not a kids person. I like them and play with them, but wouldn't like to have kids myself. So I would like to know if I am in the wrong here. That's bonkers. I live in a condo development with a lot of families. The gym has a strict no one under 14 allowed rule. We occasionally get emails reminding us that it's absolutely not safe for kids to be in there playing. I'd be shocked if your boyfriend's complex didn't have a similar rule strictly for insurance purposes. I'm a parent too, and I work out when my husband can watch kiddo. It is not within the gym rules written at the entrance of the gym, but now that you mention it, I'll ask the admin office tomorrow. Thanks. I bet the complex's insurance premium would skyrocket if a kid got injured at the gym. Wonder if the manager knows. Only toddler I've ever seen behave at a gym is my cousin's little boy, and that's probably because she's a personal trainer at the gym she owns with her man and the boy has grown up there. Obviously, if kids are treating it as a playground, they don't know how to behave in the gym and shouldn't be there. It's kind of boring if you aren't actually working out. As a mom of a 4-year-old, this is just irresponsible. The kids could get badly hurt or accidentally get an adult hurt. I would definitely talk to the people in charge because I doubt that they are aware of this. My gym allows parents to use a pack-and-play, but that's just it. It lets parents get gym access during a challenging phase and the kid stays safe inside. If the baby is too old for a baby jail, they shouldn't be just careening around near equipment or strangers trying to use it. That's when you get a babysitter. Embedding these guys feels pretty entitled to the space because it's a small building-based facility and they've had free range for the duration. My aunt took a break from caregiving for an evening. She ran away from her responsibilities. Mother came on here to vent because my partner is sick of hearing about this and I cannot fathom this mess, so I'm sharing it with y'all. My grandma died recently and I reconnected with most family members. Anyway, my cousin told me after sending my grandma off for good all the things that went down while I was gone and how she did not like any of it because it affected her family a lot. My aunt was primarily the caregiver for my grandma. She took care of her 24/7 while running a small food stall as a side business. That she barely got to do anything with given how my grandma was. She was the only one taking care of my grandma out of the 3 siblings. I live abroad and had no idea about the situation. Otherwise, I'd have flown my grandma out here instead to take care of her myself, or flying down there. My mother was mostly supporting this financially, which means she did not do any caregiving other than paying for bills and such. Fine, fair enough. All in all, it was a mess and my aunt was in shambles. My cousin decided to take her away for an evening, just for her to chill out, which I can absolutely understand. Working as a caregiver for patients with dementia myself, I completely understand the intensity of it. Plus doing it without pay? Oof. I just kept praising my aunt for it. This also turned mother into a sourpuss. And this one evening off for my aunt? It became a nightmare for everyone. My cousin said they came home to my grandma lying in her own feces and urine. Mother did not bother to clean and change my grandma at all. She said she was away for just 5 minutes, but it wasn't just from a 5 minutes thing like mother had said. I knew what my cousin meant too. I know how it is there. Apparently, my mother left this scene and went into her air-conditioned bedroom while my cousin and my aunt had to clean my grandma in the tropical heat. However, mother had the audacity to be accusing my aunt of wanting the house, so she took care of my grandma. She also took the credits for taking care of my grandma while always going outside for no reason to spend more cash that she definitely does not have. So I confronted her about this. She said that my grandma actually wanted my aunt to go away cause she did not know how to take good care of her like mother did. She also said that my aunt ran away from her responsibilities by going on a trip and leaving grandma to her. She also said my grandma kept telling mother that my aunt was there to scam her for money and whatnot. This, and also that it wasn't my aunt at all who took care of my grandma, but it was herself and her brother. I called bullshit because my aunt looks horrible and so sick while she looks so plump and well-fed. I just got really mad. My heart broke when I heard this, and I felt so guilty. I still feel guilty. I couldn't be there to take care of my grandma, so I was hoping that her kids would do it. But oh no, just one daughter who is over 60+ years old and is in a terrible condition herself. And the worst part of it all was her having the audacity to take credits for it when the situation was very obvious. Her replies to me were just to not listen to one side of story. It's ridiculous. I'd have no problem with her supporting this whole thing financially, But to take all credits and hanging spending money over people's head is something I cannot accept. It's like hiring people to do things then say they did it all. I told her I was very disappointed and that she'd end up with no one left. I know it wouldn't do anything because they're incapable of thinking about you. It's so messed up. Thank you for listening. Now I can probably let go of it now. Please don't blame yourself. You can't help if you don't know help is needed. I thought everything was going smooth and that people were coming together to help out. It'd have been more than simple to just help each other out. I was so wrong and I am so sad for it. The best way to deal with a narcissist like your mom is to call them on their BS as often as possible. They'll pitch fits and respond poorly, but it puts them in their place and doesn't let them establish their narrative as truth by repetition. Your mom had to take care of grandma once, found out it's a tough as poop, literally, job, and then had the audacity to act like she's the only one who has ever helped out, ever. Textbook narcissism. Exactly, and I often called out on her bullshit, but it was getting ridiculously too much with her, so I had to go ghost mode. Even now, I don't have to do crap. Amazing. She continues to dig a hole for herself. I'm so sorry that you had to go through this. It's not fair to your grandmother, you, and the family members who actually cared about her. Finances permitting, perhaps take Annie on a holiday as a tribute to her being an awesome person. It would also show Mother you know what's up. Condolences for the loss of your grandmother. I didn't have the time to do it. I just bought gifts for her instead. My aunt isn't materialistic. Showing appreciation for her food and efforts does more than one would think. So she was happy when I kept insisting on eating her homemade food. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.